Hey everybody, welcome to Mammoth Interactive's YouTube channel. First of all, I want to thank you for watching this video. And remember that this channel doesn't do Patreon. Instead, we sell our digital courses down below. And every single dollar that we get from the products you buy below goes into making more content. The best way to help out this channel and Mammoth Interactive is to subscribe to Mammoth Interactive's huge library of content. Get thousands of hours and hundreds of courses for a low price down below. We have a monthly option and a yearly option. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the video.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Photoshop, where we're going to be making our 2D sort of pixelated art assets in. First off, we're going to start off a new sort of canvas or new file. To do that, just simply go to Files and click on New. As you can see right here, there is this sort of new file section. And I have a sort of preset 50 by 50 pixel size canvas saved right here. To do that, you can just simply set in or plug in the size or pixel sizes of your canvas over here. Click on Save Your Preset, and you'll get this 50 by 50 pixel sized canvas. Now, the reason why we're using a 50 by 50 size canvas is because we're creating pixelated art, and it's easier to just go to the very sort of smallest sort of canvas to just paint out individual pixels to create your pixel art. Now, if you don't see this new file section right here, you're probably using the new interface. And I'm just going to close this to switch it over to that sort of old legacy new file section right there. Just simply go over to Photoshop. You go into the settings or preferences, go into general, and as you can see right here under general, you'll see a use legacy new document interface. If you don't use it, you'll probably be seeing this new sort of section right here, a new document. You'll see all these different types of options here, and your additional sort of manual selections here. Basically, this just gives you a bunch of options to use all these preset canvas types. I kind of don't like using this new document interface because it just feels a little bit too, kind of cluttered. Doesn't feel that streamlined, so I just reverted back to the original legacy new document interface right here. So just click on that, click OK, and when you click on new, you should see this nice and simple sort of new document size right here. Just simply go in, plug in your size for your canvas, click OK, and you have a new canvas here. And simply just zoom in, because right now, as you can see, our canvas size is 50 by 50 pixels, and it's just really tiny. And after that, all we have to do to sort of see pixels here, just simply go over to our window. Actually, not window. We're going to view. We're going to go into show, and you should be able to go to the grid option right here. If you click on grid, you'll see that these individual sort of pixels on our canvas, and with that, you can just simply go ahead and paint out whatever sort of shape that you want in this sort of pixelated environment. And if you zoom in, this is the smallest or closest you can get with the zoom in. Yeah, there you go. We have the environment or canvas to work on, our pixelated images. Now, another thing I kind of miss is that in case your sort of grids are not perfectly one-to-one pixel over here, you can go into preferences, go back in generals, and it should be under guides, or right here, as you can see right here, guides, grids, and slices. I'm going to go into the grid section right here and make sure that every grid line is 1 pixel. So when you look at these are perfectly 1 pixel size, and this is the smallest denominator you can get to. And yeah, that's pretty much it for setting up your new sort of canvas for your project, for the sort of 2D pixel like I guess art style. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next few videos. Okay, now with our Castlemania game, we're gonna start off by making some environment pieces for it. Then we'll move on into creating, I guess, some enemy characters and your character itself. To start off the project, let's go ahead and create a new folder. I'm just gonna call this the environment or background environment, and I'll create another separate folder inside this piece right here, or this folder here. I'm gonna call this the back wall, and we're just gonna create a new layer. I'm gonna turn off the background here so I can see things a little better. I'm gonna use a nice sort of light gray, or sort of just drying type of paint looking color. I'm gonna go Function Shift F5 to fill in the entire layer here with a nice gray. Then I'm gonna create a separate layer, and I'm gonna use a darker sort of gray, and we're just gonna paint some random lines, like some squiggly lines here and there, and it just gives it this sort of cracking paint look to it. Let's see. Okay, seems pretty good. Now we can take this this layer here, duplicate it a few times. I'm just gonna go ahead and use Command A to select everything here, Command C to copy and paste, and we're just gonna hold on the command and slightly shift it over, not too far over here. And I'm just gonna do this a few more times. Let's go Command V, paste, and we're just gonna slightly shift it so it looks like it is separate. Okay, it's two pixels off over here. If we look at this sort of center piece right here, copy, paste, move it over, do the same thing, shift it over, and as you can see, if we were to paste it again, it's gonna slightly cross into the well, the area unknown over there. Just gonna go over and take everything, slightly shift everything over by, say, 1 pixel. Just like this much should be good. And if we were to offset all of these guys, it should work in a sort of proper 2 pixel area here. Is it a 2 pixel distance? Yeah, it's 2 pixel distance between these if we were to offset them later on. Now, looking at everything here, they all look really similar. We just have to slightly tweak a few of them. I'm just going to click on Command and select this piece over here. 1, 2, 3. It should be all the sort of odd pieces here, or odd layers. And I am going to go in and click on Transform. I'm going to click on Edit first, scroll down to Transform, and we are going to flip them, I guess, vertically right here. So kind of flip them upside down, and just gives this sort of these cracked paint areas here a little bit of a difference between the center ones over here, so it doesn't look perfectly, in a sort of aligned pattern right there. Now I can take all these guys here and just simply merge them together. Let's go scroll down all the way to merge layers, and we get a singular layer here that we can play with. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We can just use this piece right here and basically create our wall. Just some slight sort of tweaks to this sort of pattern here as well. We're going to slightly stretch it out so that the paint, or the cracked paint over here, reaches to a point where it looks like there is just a singular sort of pixel that's in the way over there. Go Command T. Let's move this guy, say about like this much, and we're gonna stretch it to, let's see, 1 pixel over here. So like if we were to I I guess, offset them or put them in a sort of endless looking wall like pattern, it will still work if you stack this image right here on top of one layer basically. So if I were to, let's say, let's go into filter, other, offset. If we were to move it, I guess, vertically, it won't look odd. There won't be like this weird seam in between. It'll look continuous, as you can see right here. Just play around with it, and it just, yeah, it looks okay. Just gonna click cancel because I don't want to offset it. Just leave it like so, and there you go. We have a simple looking sort of cracking or broken down looking wall right here. It's just a background sort of detail. You don't have to worry too much about it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, we're back again with our Castlemania art assets tutorial. As you can see, we've gotten our back wall image layer completed. We've added in this slight paint color, sort of crumbling type of pattern here. And we've also made it so that the image itself is offsettable. Basically what it means is you can take this, duplicate it multiple times, and just stack them or stitch them together, and it'll still look like one complete sort of patterned wall. But just with having the patterns here doesn't really make the wall look that good. So we're gonna maybe add in some additional sort of details onto our wall here. I'm not gonna just use the sort of back wall here. I'm actually gonna go ahead and maybe duplicate this this folder here, so we have the original image, and we're gonna just add in the details onto the new group. I'm gonna call this the broken back wall. Click OK, and as you can see, we've duplicated the same folder here, just with a different name. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer right over here on top of the sort of back wall pattern. And we're just going to throw in some details onto this image here. And if you think about it, if we take this new wall and stitch it up with the old original wall, because all the patterns are still kind of there, you'll notice that it will kind of look like it is still one complete wall. The patterns will kind of make it blend together, making it look like one complete wall, but just with the added in details of this new image here. First off, I'm going to go ahead and use the color black. I'm going to use our brush and maybe just draw around a sort of cracked open area, maybe something like this. And I am going to go ahead and create another layer here. I'm going to use a nice orangey, maybe pinkish type of color, like maybe dark red, pink, something like that you would see with bricks. And just going to go ahead and use the rectangular marquee tool. We're going to create or grab certain areas here in a brick shape. I'm going to go function shift F5, fill that out. I'm going to slightly drag this down our selected area, function shift F5, fill that in, and then just keep going like so. We're just going to copy and paste. Actually, you know what? I can take this bit right here. Command A, copy and paste. I'm gonna hold Command and just slightly shift it over, paste, and just keep pasting in, I guess, brick layers right here. Something like this. And I am going to paste another one right over here. Paste, and just keep pasting. Let's move this guy right over here. I'm going to actually select all these pieces, all these layers right now. I'm just going to hold or click the first layer, hold on to shift, grab onto the final piece right here, final layer, right click, and we're just going to merge all these guys together. I'm going to select them all again so I can just fill out the bottom section here. We're going to go Command A, select all, Command C, Command V, and just paste all these guys down below, about like over here. Let's see, color is not showing through. Maybe shift this over a little bit more. Something like this. And there you go. I'm gonna grab these additional pieces, these extra ones that are far out there. I'm gonna hold on command and cut them over. Just drag them over into the areas that you would need some bricks to kind of, follow up. So there's these areas right here. There you go. I'm gonna grab these guys, right click, merge them again. And I am going to go ahead and maybe make this sort of a cut right here. I'm going to click on, actually, you know what? Let's maybe thicken out the outline here, this broken wall area. I'm going to go ahead and go into edit. We're going to go stroke, add in an extra sort of extra pixel length over here. Click OK. It should add in extra pixel, as you can see right there. And I am going to go ahead and select the area outside and inside of our wall, or wall outline right here. Go back into our brick layers, click delete, and you'll delete all those pieces right there, those extra bits. And there you go. We have sort of this nice looking sort of deleted layer of our sort of our wall right here. And I think we might have made it a little bit too thick of a layer right here. You can probably make some manual adjustments, just erase the pieces right there of the black outline. You can just cut them away, make it look a little bit more organic, something, make it look more like it was cut and just slowly crumbling away. You can add in some additional areas that are like I guess some spiraling lines. Maybe some pieces of the paint are still like stuck onto the this area here. Just gonna delete all these. Can increase the size of our eraser brush right here, and just delete, make these more cleaner erases. Just delete those, delete that. Seems pretty good. And there you go. We have a fairly decent looking cracked wall. I'm going to drop this back down. To basically shrink or expand your brushes, you just simply click on the bracket keys on your keyboard. You can make it bigger, make it smaller, like so. Quite simple. And let's go back into brush. I'm going to use the black color. Maybe add on some, like, I guess some cracked looking patterns here, just some slight wiggling of the lines here and there, and something like this seems pretty good. Maybe erase this bit. We don't want it to be too fat of a line. It's just some slight cracks right there and here and there. And there you go. We have a fairly decent looking outer I guess outline here. For the fillings in between our bricks, I am going to just simply go into our outline here in the center. I'm going to select the area with the magic select tool. I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to put it right behind the outline here. I'm going to go into brush. I'm going to hold on to Alt so I get the eyedropper option. I'm going to select this sort of cracked paint color right here. Maybe slightly darken it down a little bit. And we're just going to go function shift F5, and you'll fill in the section with the nice looking sort of cement color that you usually see that are being filled in between bricks. Now our sort of broken area seems pretty good. I feel like the black outline now kind of looks a little bit too I guess it's just too dark. Not really too dark. It kind of shows out, it kind of pops up a little bit too much compared to like the brick areas here. So we're just gonna do some slight adjustments to it. We're gonna add in a adjustment layer here. I'll use the levels adjustment layer. Click on this. We're gonna click on this option right here so it connects down to the layer that we want to edit. And I am just gonna slightly play around with the bar right here so it looks like well, not really looks like it just basically changes up the brightness or darkness of the color of our sort of outline here. I feel like I can maybe make it a little bit just darken, like here, something like this. Seems okay. It's like just slightly carved out right there. As you can see right here, if we zoom out, you'll see like the paint has been sort of scratched off, and it reveals underneath the brick sort of pattern right here. And with the sort of cracked off paint, this just makes it look so much better. Like it actually has been slightly damaged. The paint itself has been slightly damaged, and it's like peeling off, and get like this nice shade of light gray, or slightly darker gray compared to the light gray right here. And there you go. We have a fairly nice looking sort of broken wall texture for our background as well now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to add additional details, maybe different types of brick colors or different types of like paint, you can by all means go ahead and just add in whatever paint or details you want. But that's pretty much it for our broken wall section of our sort of wall background. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, we're back again, and as you can see, we finished making our broken back wall art asset right here. Gonna add in some additional things that we can add on to our wall, such as a window. Actually gonna go ahead and close off or toggle off the visibility of our broken back wall here. I'm gonna create a new folder, drag and drop it into the background environment. Let's call this the window. Enter, and I'm going to create a new layer in our window folder here. First off, I'm going to go ahead and select a color. I'm going to use I'll use black. Then I'm going to go into the Marquee tool here. I'm going to use the regular rectangular select Marquee tool. Let's just hold on to Alt and Shift, go onto your canvas. I'm going to draw out a perfect square, as you can see. I'm not sure if you can see the Marquee selection right here, but right here, slightly adjust it, place it into the center. I'm going to go Function Shift F5, fill that section out, and we get this sort of perfect looking square right here. I'm going to go ahead and just simply go, let's go Command T. I'm going to stretch this guy out. Hold on to Alt so it stretches on both sides, like this far or so. And I am going to sort of cut this guy into neat pieces so we get like this proper window shape. I'm going to cut it down from the center, well, this section right here. Grab over onto the other side, delete that, and we get this sort of long window here. Now, I feel like a sort of rectangular window doesn't seem that good. We could probably add in a few more extra things in here. I'm going to slightly shrink this guy down, actually. Command T. Slightly drop it down a little bit. Click Enter. And this kind of gives me a little space up here to create a nice arch or archway over here. Gonna go and use the circular Marquee tool. I'm gonna go into the center or top point of our sort of pixel here, the center right here. Hold onto Alt and Shift. I'm gonna just grab this section, kind of slightly drag out the size that we want for our circle. Gonna make sure that the selection kind of ends up at the end of our line here. Gonna create a new layer here. Function Shift F5, click Enter. As you can see right there. Gonna go back into rectangular. Let's take the bottom half of our circle here, just delete it, and we are left with this nice circle here, or circular sort of archway right here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just delete or sort of empty out this top section right here. I'm going to, yeah, let's go ahead and just erase this bit. It should be easier if I were to just simply take the, if I took the sort of half circle here. Let's undo the deletion. Let's go back into Edit. Go ahead and stroke. I use a different color over here. Let's use like gray or something. Select the color. I use a gray color over here. Click OK inside, and I'll just draw this section right here as a different color. I'm going to grab this bit right here. Use this. Switch this guy back into a, like, I guess, black color right here. Let's go stroke again. I use center, use a black color, click OK, OK, and it should just switch it back into a black sort of outline here. And there you go, we have sort of this nice looking window piece that is just slightly different from a normal rectangular window. I'm going to add in some additional lines here. Let's go into the pencil tool. Just going to draw from one side to the other. Ooh, make sure that it is straight. And as you can see right here, we have a fairly decent looking window. I can cut it a few more times. Can maybe make it like so. As you can see right here, we have a decent looking window. I'm going to grab these guys together. Both of these layers, I'm going to merge them together. And there you go. Next up, I'm going to add in a layer behind our window outline here. And I am going to go into our window outline, select the outside, magic select this area here. I'm going to click on Command-Shift-I to invert the selection. And I am going to use, let's just use gray for now as a sort of stand-in color. I'm going to go Function Shift F5, fill in the center. And we're just going to get like this nice looking color here. I am going to use a gradient tool, or the gradient tool. Just going to draw in from top to bottom here. Oh, I might have selected this color from a previous sort of a build before. As you can see here, double click in and you can just select a color that you wish to use. And this dark blue is actually quite decent. I can use this, click OK. You can select a different color here, but right now we're using a gray. It seems okay, we can use that. And there you go, we have this nice gradient looking window color here that kind of leads out to the outside. Sort of this foggy, kind of eerie kind of color here in a dark sky. This is a fairly decent looking gradient. And yeah, that's pretty much it for our window. We can just take this image here and basically you can just paste it onto the walls that we've created before, such as like so. You can just stick it on and make it look like there's an actual window over there. We can maybe add in additional details, but for now, our window is looking pretty sweet, and we can just use this like so. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, now that we've got our window done, and if you kind of feel like the window's a little bit too thin, we can actually just grab these two layers again, go click on Command T, and we can just stretch this out horizontally right here. And we can just grab this, make it a little wider, something like this. Seems pretty good. And yeah, you can just basically widen your window like so. Another thing that we're going to be making now is the, I guess, curtains that you'll probably see in like castle areas. I'm just going to go ahead and create a new folder. We're going to call this the curtain. And I'm going to create a new layer here. Let's turn off the windows. I'm also going to turn off the back wall so you get a completely, completely empty area right here to work with. Let's go with, I'm going to use a black color or so. And you know what? Actually, let's turn on our window again. I'm going to maybe use this, the width of our window here to create our curtain. Let's go ahead. I'm going to duplicate this piece right here. Duplicate layer. Duplicate the, just the outline area over here. And I am just going to go ahead and turn off the windows again. Let's go ahead. We're going to use the paintbrush or our pencil tool. Click on B. And I am just gonna basically randomly draw some like cut or torn fabric over here. Doesn't have to be too overkill. I'm just gonna sort of play around with things here. Let's go into uh, erase. I'm gonna use erase, and we're just gonna sort of cut out this sort of torn fabric look to it. And like, let's draw this upwards. I use the Marquee tool, grab the section, delete those outlines there, and continue on with so. Go back into erase, erase this like so, and there you go. We have sort of this this torn curtain feel. I'm gonna actually draw upwards, make this actually rectangular now. So just paint these in right here, and let's maybe empty out the center where the sort of window bars are at. Let's grab these, delete these, and there you go. We have this sort of basic curtain shape right here. I'm going to now go in here to use like a dark sort of red or dying red looking curtain. Actually, you know what? I'm actually gonna select this, the outside of our curtain here, and do the same thing that we've done before by selecting or sort of flipping the selection here, Command Shift I, inverting it. So as you can see right here, you can see the selection is around the outline here. I'm gonna go over into the empty layer here, function Shift F5, and we get sort of this kind of blood-like a curtain color right here. I think it would be better if I use the gradient color instead. I'm gonna slightly change this up. Let's go in and select a different color. I'm gonna use the red color right here, and we can make it so that the color goes from sort of the dark red over into a more actually, you know what? I'm gonna use this end as this color right here. I'm gonna take the dark red, make this a little bit darker. Actually, a little bit, yeah, a little bit more darker right here. There's like this weird fade. Listen, actually, it's not really weird. More like this kind of decent red fade over from like a darker red to a lighter sort of red right here. Let's raise this up a tiny little bit, and there you go. Now I'm gonna draw this from top to bottom, and check it out. We can turn off our our outline or our grids right here to kind of see this from far away. You can click on Command and I think it was the quotes key or quote key right beside the Enter key. Just turn it off right here. As you can see right here, the color seems pretty nice. It has like this darkened gradient color switching over into this sort of lighter red. Actually, I feel like it should be better if it was a little bit more grayed out instead. So I'm just gonna go for a nicer gray. Let's use grab this, make it grayed, something like this. Let's try it out. I'm gonna regradient it from top to bottom. Hold Shift if you want a straight line. Yeah, that actually seems a lot better. You can turn off the outline and see how it looks. Seems pretty good without the outline. We can take out the outline, leave it like so, and we have ourselves a kind of dying looking curtain. Actually gonna create a new layer and use the, I guess the darkened red here. Slightly paint out certain areas. I can make the fabric look a little bit more, well, fabric-like. Just sort of draw downwards, add on some like outlines or so. And there you go. I'm gonna use the smudge tool, kind of draw this out. Just smudge them like so. And there you go. We have sort of this, the curtain crumbling type of effect on our curtains right here. And let's go on and create a sort of the piece that holds on to our curtain right here. I'm going to use the rectangular marquee select tool. Also going to turn on my grid again. Command click, and there you go. Now, if you don't exactly know what hotkey it was, you can just go over here into view and just go over to show, and you can just turn it on or off manually over here, or you can see the hotkey right beside it. And there you go. Let's go ahead and select the curtain. I'm going to grab on like 3 by how many pixels over here, and I'm going to select a nice sort of grayish golden color, so something like this, a little bit more golden or orangey. Function Shift F5, fill that in. It's a little bit too bright. We can probably darken it down a little. I'm gonna slightly change this up. Actually, I think it'd be easier if I just use the gradients again for this piece as well. I'm gonna slightly shrink this guy down to as a little bit here, and let's just select this bit, this whole section. Gradient. I'll use a slightly different color here. See this? Okay. Drag it down. Check it out. I like this much or so. Yeah, seems okay. Maybe I feel like I should maybe just darken it manually. Let's use brush, darken this down, go down, and just paint this over. Yeah, seems pretty good with this sort of kind of top, I guess, bar over here. Now it's a little too dark. Slightly brighten this up a little. Something like this, and just gradually becomes sort of this weird lighter grayish shade, right? Like so. And yeah, there you go. We have our curtain, and if we sort of close this down, turn on our window, we can have this curtain over here. It doesn't have to be on the window too. You can, just randomly place it around on your walls to just give the sort of background an eerie type of empty and old feeling. But yeah, that's pretty much it for our current. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, since we've gotten our curtain and our window completed, let's go ahead and create other assets for our background. Now I was thinking of making something simple, something like a dungeon torch, or I guess dungeon lamp. I'm just going to go ahead and create a new folder. I'm going to call this the dungeon lamp or torch. I'll go torch. And let's create a new layer here. I'm going to use a nice darkened sort of gray color here, and I am going to just hold on to Alt and Shift. I'm going to use the Marquee tool. I'm going to draw out a nice and simple square shape or so. Let's go Function Shift F5, Enter, and there you go. We have sort of this perfect square. I'm going to slightly move this and see if I can put it in the center right there. Seems pretty good. I'm going to go Command T. Let's stretch it out, make it a little bit longer or wider right here. Hold on to Alt as well and make it so that it stretches like so. And click Enter to just set it. I'm going to slightly erase from this point to, I guess this point seems okay. Let's grab like this. And I am just going to select this bit, delete it. We don't have to worry about this side. We can just, slightly, I guess, copy and paste half of this. Which I'm going to delete half of this image right here. It's going to the halfway point, delete that. And I am going to actually add in, or select this area up here. Maybe erase things a little bit better. Make it a little bit like so. Erase it from this point to this point. Erase these points right here. I am going to click Command A to select the whole image now. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it. Duplicate layer. We are going to go into Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal, and it should flip it onto the other side right there. Take these two layers, merge them together. Right click, merge layers. And as you can see, we have a perfect sort of torch-like shape right now. I am going to add in different sort of, I guess, layers on top of this to make it look a little bit better. I'm going to add in a new layer here. Let's use a lighter sort of gray color. And I am just going to paint out certain sections right here. Let's sort of bring this over. Make it look like those plated sort of, I guess, torch handles or torch lamps right there. I'm going to make this a little bit wider. Paint this 2 layers. If you feel like it's a little bit too dark and too similar, you can maybe raise it up a little bit. Just grab this whole thing, Magic Select tool, and just fill this in. There you go. And this bottom sort of handle section right here, I feel like it should probably, I guess, make it a separate color instead. So, you know, I'm going to grab this bit. Let's create a new layer here. Let's go for a nice sort of wooden handle. You can go for a red, orangey color right here. Go into the darker shades and grab a dark brown. Function Shift F5. Check it out. We have sort of this wooden handle on top, or not handle, more like the wooden stand that you'd see stuck onto the walls. Maybe thin this guy down a tad bit. And thin this bit too. Seems pretty good. And we can add in flames onto the back end. I'm actually going to merge these guys together. Let's just merge them. And I'm going to erase this bottom section right here. Slightly shrink down this section here. Make it a little bit thinner. And I am going to create a flame. Let's go for a bright sort of orange color right here. I'm going to actually put the flame layer behind the sort of stand here, and I am just gonna, you know, draw out some random flames or random sort of shapes, just zigzaggy and really crooked looking lines, and you can get yourself a pretty decent looking flame-like structure. We can animate it later on, but let's just make a sort of static image of the flames first. Doesn't have to be burning too crazy. You can maybe cut some certain square-like sections like here. It's a little bit too straight, so we're just gonna, you know, sort of add in areas here. And there you go. We have sort of this flame, this ball of flame, right on top of our stand. If you feel like this flame is a little bit too large, you can just go Command T, slightly shrink it down a tad bit. I'm gonna hold on to Alt, maybe just shrink it down like so, and shrink it inwards. Maybe move it into the center a bit over here. And shrink this side by 1 pixel. Click Enter. Oh, that doesn't look that good. I can just paint out the bottom over here instead. And yeah, there you go. We have sort of this simple flame. We can add in additional colors onto it if you like a darker sort of red or maybe yellow. I think would be better. It's golden yellow type of color. Certain areas here, paint them in, fill in the blanks. These sections here, and we have sort of this nicer looking flame color. From afar, you look at it, it's actually pretty decent. Yeah, there you go. We have a simple torch completed. If you want to add in more sort of decorations around the stand, you can do that. And we're probably going to be adding some, I guess, motion onto those flames to make it look better. If you want to add in animations onto your flames in your background. But yeah, that's pretty much it we have for the torches here. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video. Okay, we're here in Photoshop again, and we're back to making the environments. One major environment piece that we would definitely need for our game is the foundation, or the also known as the floor. I'm just going to go into our layer here, or our group here. I'm going to create a new folder. Let's drag and drop it back in here. Let's call this the floor block. And I am going to create a new layer here. Let's go ahead and use the rectangular marquee tool here. And I'm just going to draw sort of a half point section or just half of our canvas here. Gonna go function shift F5, fill in this section right here. We've got our sort of floor, just a general layout of it, and I am just gonna go in and add additional details into this so that it looks like, or we make it look like, there are sort of this continuous pattern with the floor here. Since we're going to be stacking it side by side, we wanted to make it look like it's offsetable. So with this done right here, it's our general sort of area, the outline of our floor. I'm just going to go ahead, maybe use a separate color. I'm going to use like a brown sort of floor dirt type of color here or something. Function shift F5, fill that section out. Let's use like a richer brown orangey sort of feel to it. You can add a new layer. It's around top of it. Use a paintbrush. We can just paint around. Check how it looks like. Actually, I'm going to increase the brush. Just click on brackets, the bracket keys to just paint out the section here. Well, increasing the paintbrush and then painting out the section here. And we can add in some stones. Gonna add in, actually, you know what, let's paint this entire bottom section here, make it a little uneven. Let's add a new layer, make it a little darker. Let's paint it underneath here, and gonna make sure it is offsetable later. I'm gonna just take these few layers here, merge them together, and then we can just slightly shift them over to the sides to kind of make it look like, well, make it offset so we can kind of edit it. And this seems pretty decent. We can add in some details such as tiny stones or so. Go with like a dark gray. Let's shrink down our brush here a little. Just paint out some rocky sort of pieces here. Delete some bits right here, and maybe darken down some pieces and erase them, kind of shape them into like rocky forms. And I'm gonna slightly shift this guy here a little bit to the side, and I'm just gonna additionally add some tiny bits of like pebbles over here or so, and that seems pretty good. We have a decent looking floor section right here. I'm going to add some grass here on top, and let's go with a dark sort of dead looking grass color, yellowish dried grass. Seems pretty good. It's a little bit too similar to the dirt here. Let's see, we can try it out. Yeah, it's a little bit too similar. Let's go a tad bit more green, like so. Okay, seems okay. Just gonna paint this over, draw a line, just add some slight, I guess, roots that go into the dirt, and there you go. We have sort of this basic grassy look, grassy looking floor right here. Maybe we should change up the color of the roots. I'm gonna use a slight darker, or sort of darker yellow, more like a golden brown type of color. Way too similar to the floor here, just slight differences over here and there, and kind of just adds on to the details. And yeah, let's see, just keep painting these little root sections here, and I am going to merge all these layers together. Merge layers. I'm gonna go into filter, I'm gonna go other, offset. I'm gonna offset it horizontally a little bit more. That actually seems pretty good, because it's just a sort of single pixel difference right here. As you can see, there's like this little tiny little dip right here in these places, and I'm just gonna click escape and just let it be like so. Yeah, we can use this image, stitch it together a few times, well, just make it into a continuous line, and we have a sort of grassy foundation floor piece or image right here. And we can have our character and whatever things running on top of this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's quite simple. If you do want to add some additional things, maybe a separate sort of I guess separate image here, maybe you can add in like bones or like just things that seem a little bit more eerie. By all means, you can go ahead and do that. But for now, we're pretty much done with our floor here. Seems like a decent looking piece. And yeah, there you go. Oh, maybe slightly adjust this color right here because we painted it with a sort of lighter yellowish green color. It would kind of blink by it a few times if you were to, stitch the images together. You'll see like this weird tiny little dot right there going by constantly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, we're back again, and as you can see, we finished building our floor block image right here. Now I'm going to be making another sort of foundation-like asset. I'm going to be making sort of the floating platform or a floating block type of piece, so that if we were to have our game ready, we can have multiple elevations of floors. You can go from the bottom ground floor over here, as you can see, the floor block. You can jump and get to another sort of floating platform up top. Just basically adds an elevation into our game. Now, for the block itself, we're going to actually just fill out the entire canvas and make our block from there. It's not going to be like the floor block here where we have half of the image as a sort of transparent piece right here. Well, we could do that actually, but I think it's better if we were to just make a singular block, a full block in our canvas, and if we were to export it out and stitch it together in our gaming engine or our game engine, we can basically make more equal platforms. It just should be easier to make, because if we were to make a small block in the center of our canvas here, it's just a lot harder to stitch them together. Let's stop talking about that and just toggle off our floor here. We're going to create a new folder. I'm going to call this the floating platform block, I guess. Nah, just say platform. And I am going to use a new layer. And with our new layer, let's use a nice, it doesn't really matter what color you want. We can use like a golden type of color right here, or gray block, something that just kind of stands out from our, I guess, our background wall type of color, which was like a gray over here. So we can use like a brighter sort of color. I'm just going to go ahead and use function Shift F5, where we can fill in the background here. And I am going to create additional layers. Let's actually put a sort of darkened, I guess, dark brown, fairly darkened brown type of color in the back. Let's go function Shift F5. Can't see it right now because our layer order right here is kind of in a way so that the yellow part or the gold color is on top. I'm going to slightly shrink this guy down here. Command T. Hold on to Alt and Shift so we can scale it down equally. Let's maybe drop it down to about like this size or so. Something. Click Enter. And actually, it's not perfectly shaped right here. As you can see, there is about 5 pixels over here, and there's 6 pixels right here. I'm just going to slightly adjust things here. I'm gonna hold on to Alt. Actually, you know what? Let's grab this, push it in manually. And this is how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 5. So I'm just going to drop this down by 1. Click Enter. And there you go. We have sort of the equaled cube, or not cube, equal square image right here. I'm going to go ahead and create another layer here. And I'll use sort of a nice, I guess, brighter yellow, brighter gold type of color. Function Shift F5, or actually, you know what? We can maybe just drag out from the center. Hold on to Alt and Shift, and let's see, but like this far. Let's go like that. Function Shift F5, fill that section out. We sort of have this, as you can see, a sort of layered square right here. Just adds on the slight detail onto your, I guess your block here, your floating platform block. And we can add additional details, such as like some shadows on this. But right now, it just doesn't really look that, I guess, that good or detailed. Don't worry about it. Or we can sort of cut things away, chip things here and there. Let's go ahead and maybe cut those right now. I'm gonna go E. So I go into the erase tool. Let's cut it from the fourth area, fourth pixel right there. And 4 to 4, erase those, grab these sections, delete, and we can actually just take half of our, I guess, our cube right here, or square, and just delete. We can right click, duplicate layer, click OK, Command A, edit, transform, and flip horizontal. There you go. We have a mirrored sort of image of our, well, half the square right there. Gonna merge these guys together so they're one singular layer. Gonna do the same thing to the layer over here, the lighter color. Actually, you know what? I think it would be easier if I were to just take the copy of, or the layer here of the golden sort of surface here, and just duplicate this. Click OK. Over here, going to go Command T, hold on to Alt and Shift, just Alt basically, click Enter, and I am just going to go ahead and fill out this section with the color. Function Shift F5. And let's turn this off. There you go. We have sort of this more, I guess, rounded sort of a square over here as our cube. We can do the same thing to the outer layer, this outline over here, so that we have a slight, I guess, a cutoff over here that could be transparent, making it, I guess, look nicer. It doesn't have to be like perfectly airtight sort of connections between the cubes or the surfaces of the platform. Just, you know, adds on a sort of slight detail to just a, you know, general flat looking square. Just gonna do the same thing. Let's go grab the color, take, I guess, this piece right here, the original piece, just duplicate it, and I'm just gonna drag this guy below the mid layer right there. Command T. We're just gonna stretch this guy out to the outer areas here. Click Enter, and I am going to use the Magic Select tool, select the entire section here. Function Shift F5, fill it in with the dark brown color, and take away the original right there. There you go. We have sort of this slightly more detailed cube or square. And we can just use this, stitch them together, creating a sort of a line or a platform with our cubes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just a simple sort of asset or reusable asset. Like in case you want to build like walls or other types of surfaces, you can just take the cube here, or I keep calling it cube, it's more of a square, and you can just stack them together, stitch them together, making them look like a singular sort of structure. And yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching this course. If you want to watch the rest of the course, the link is down below. Not only will you get the access to this course, but you'll get access to a lot of other courses in a huge bundle, and it's on sale today. So buy it before the sale ends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.